Hey fellow babies, Cleo, and I'm going to do a video I've been promising my daughter that I would do, and it is 1:26 p.m. and in 34 minutes I have a televisit, so we know this isn't going to be long, but I'm a little disorganized today. It's not a surprise, but what I'm doing, I'm going to talk a little bit about something that I've been promising my daughter, Caillie, that I would do, and put on makeup at the same time. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not, but I have a televisit. And, things have been kind of rough for me for a little bit. And I'll be honest, putting on makeup is going to help. It's going to make me feel better. So, and you'll get to see the kind of odd way I put makeup on. Okay, all right. I shaved, which got me started on this good day. And, oh geez, please, if you hear that creaking sound, my front door, my storm door is loose, and I'm not going out to take care of it because it is quarantine season and I have no pants on. Okay. What I'm going to talk about while I do my makeup is how I met my daughter Caillie. Her name is Kaya Leah McMurha, and she is 33 years old. She lives in Canton, Ohio, and she is amazingly perceptive. She's frighteningly smart. I kind of wonder if she knew, how smart she is, and she sort of proved to me not long ago that she's actually really smart. So anyway, what it was, this is a professional way of doing it, by the way. All the professionals do it this way. I had a habit, and I've kind of fallen out of it, which I feel bad about. But I used to go on every day to Facebook and look up today's birthdays, and I just always felt that it was kind of a nice thing, if you're having a birthday, that somebody, I just always figured that you never know, you might be reaching out to someone who has no one else to wish them a happy birthday. So I actually want to get back into that. But anyway, one of the people, I don't discriminate by age, one of the people that I wished a birthday on in December to was a young lady whose name is not what it is now, and I am not going to dead name her, but I sent her a birthday wish, and she just kind of felt, that's a little heavy, she kind of felt connected or drawn. And so she sent me some texts, and come on, and we started talking. Now, she is oh gosh, she has had just a boatload of crap in her life. And she has been looking for her whole life for a mom. She has an egg donor to whom she feels no connection. And she had an adoptive mother who was pretty rotten. And she sensed that that I'm different. I am. And we just connected. I can't really describe it because she I don't know. And it doesn't help. It really doesn't help that I can't remember what all we said, and I kind of feel awful about that, that I can't remember. But that's just the way it is. It's nothing. Excuse me. Nothing purposeful. Nothing. Nothing mean or offensive. I just plain have a crappy memory. So anyway, so we started talking, and she asked me if we could talk on the phone. Now, talking on the phone is a very big deal to me. Excuse me. It is a big deal to me because I don't like talking on the phone. It's and I'll share this because it's really kind of funny. There's one of my friends I was talking to who knows me really well, and I talked to him, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. This chick wants to talk to me on the phone, and you know how I hate talking on the phone. You know how I hate talking on the phone, and it's not just that I hate it. It's that I can get phone conversations can and do push me into panic attacks. I don't like them. Not much I can do about them. And the friend to whom I was telling this was like, yeah, you freak out on the phone. This is not good. But for her sake, I said, I'll try it. And we had quite a few phone conversations early on where I did freak out. And there were many calls we had where I just would interrupt her in the middle of her telling me something with something like, hun, I gotta go right now. I gotta go right now. And it disappointed her. Of course it disappointed her. And she felt kind of hurt. And I tried to explain, and she knew, she's smart. She knows that, when I was saying this, she grasped it. It's not hard. But she still, I think, and if I'm wrong about this, I knew she will correct me. I think there was this feeling of because she is special to me. I should have been able to get over the panic attacks. There's the door, and what happened was that she is that special. We talked so often and so long that she became one of, let me think, 1, 2, 3 people I can have a phone conversation with. By the way, here I'm just letting you know this is just a makeup thing. I'm going to tell you. I'm using a CoverGirl eyeshadow for this, or whatever. Yeah, eyeshadow. I'm using eyeshadow for this because I looked around and I don't know where my blush went, and honestly, all my makeup is kind of buried in a box because I haven't been past my front porch since February 28th. I haven't had a lot of need for makeup, but anyway, so I can't find my blush. But this is an eyeshadow which is actually very close in tone to the blush I like. Anyway, so we talked on the phone long enough that I stopped panicking. I stopped having panic attacks, and we could talk. Not just could, we did. We and still do. We talk for hours. I mean hours. And please excuse sniffling. It's this way all year round. It's not the weather. It's not allergies. It's just I just have the sniffles permanently. Anyway, it's one of the most wonderful things about my daughter that I cherish, I love, I adore, is that there is so much to her. I'll try to get into it in a bit here because I wanna talk about how things. I want to talk about a phone call that we had just this past week that kind of woke me up. Okay. Anyway, so we talked a lot on the phone, and we were just we just fit together. I can't describe it in any other way. We just fit together. I was mom and she was daughter, and she asked me, would I be her mom? She asked me that pretty early on, which, it's no surprise. Every once in a while people ask me if I'll be mom to them, and sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But I just felt so immediately good about her that I said yes, and a little after that, she asked me, would I adopt her legally? And this is after we talked for many, many hours. And I just, there was no hesitance, no doubt, no, dang, I hate that. There was just nothing, no, I feel like she and I are connected in a way that, that many people never get to experience. Maybe not even real mothers and daughters. And, oh shoot, I forgot to put this on my brow pen. And so, you know, so I said, yeah, I'll adopt you. And here's what made she and I really, really special in a way that I have never been with another human being. Really is. You know, I just, there's nobody I know that I've had this connection to. And I'm sorry, I'm actually getting a little lost, but let me focus now. The only thing I've got left to do now is lips. So, she went through a lot with me. At the same time, I had said to her, yes, I will be your mom. I was unfortunately going through a very bad emotional and mental state because of a medicine I was taking called Prestique. Prestique is desvenlafaxine. I mention that because back in December, I had started taking, no earlier than that, doesn't matter. I had started taking venlafaxine, not desvenlafaxine, venlafaxine, which is Effexor. And Effexor had a really bad effect on me. I didn't like, it made me, geez, my cat Ed is here. He comes up and gets my attention by putting his cold, wet nose on my skin, which bugs me. But anyway, I was on Effexor for a while, and it made me feel like a robot. And you know, when I was younger, I knew a couple of people who had taken, you know, whatever. You know, they had taken whatever medicine did this to them. You know, because psych meds act differently for different people. And Effexor, and I'm sorry, I got a little, I almost digressed. When I was talking with people, a lot of them would say to me that they'd been on one medication or another that made them feel like a robot, and they couldn't stand it. And I always said, you know, isn't being a robot and feeling nothing better than feeling pain? And, oh, did I get my butt kicked? Oh, because Effexor made me feel like a robot, and uh, and I'll tell you, fellow babies, it's frightening. It is frightening. You lose yourself. You lose every last bit of yourself. And by the way, I think I'm done. I think I got everything. Yeah. Yeah. I've got about 13 minutes left here. But anyway, feeling like a robot is it's like being trapped in a simulation of yourself. You know, you see all the emotions in you, but you can't access them. It especially upset me because, as most people know, back in May 2019, I lost the woman I love more than anything on earth, and you know how it is when you grieve. You know, you can go for a month or two without it bothering you, and then all of a sudden, you remember and you're just crying, and I couldn't do that. I couldn't feel that. It hurt, and the weird thing is, it hurt, and I knew it hurt, and I couldn't feel being hurt, but being hurt was somehow important. It was very awful. So when my doctor wanted to put me on Prestique, I said, it's really close to Effexor, and she said, no, the death prefix makes it different. Well, yeah, different. The whole point to this little side trip is to say that my girl Caillie was with me when the Prestique started having its effects, and they made me have psychotic episodes. Now, Caillie, God love her, when I was having panic attacks, she was patient, and she was kind, and she was concerned, and she was compassionate, and she worked with me through every panic attack I had, and worked out a method with me to cope with them. I did. In fact, I had a panic attack a couple of nights ago that I was unable to get through, and she helped me through it. God bless her. Hear up, bless her. But anyway, the Prestique made me dissociate. I hallucinated. I went into some bad states of mind, and I hate that door. She stuck with me through it all. She stayed with me. She stayed with me when I went crazy, and she forgave everything that came out of my mouth. There was, in fact, there was, in fact, a moment when I was actually developing what someone I know calls alters. Alternate identities, and I was not, I'm sorry, I did not totally dissociate, but there was an identity that took over for a little bit, called the Puppet Master, and Caillie will not tell me what the puppet master said, because it would be bad for me to hear, and for her to have stuck through it just amazes and astounds me. Anyway, I've digressed too much, and I don't have much time. But she stuck with me when I was having panic attacks. She stuck with me when I went psychotic, and you know, I still have identity problems because I'm bigender, and I don't know what it's like for anyone else, but for me, being bigender means that there is me, Cleo. There is the past me, that is I don't name, and that is him. And there's a sort of middle, not feminine, not masculine, and it's and when I was psychotic, I called this identity the caretaker, and that's kind of who took over. For instance, last night. Now, Caillie is brilliant. She I knew yesterday that something was up. I knew something was wrong. I knew Cleo was not in charge, but I tried to kind of front it. You know, I tried to pretend Cleo was in charge, and you know, Caillie saw through it immediately. You know, because we send each other these videos, and I sent her one last night that where I said all the right things, and I tried to make believe that Cleo was in charge, and I said the right motherly things, and she messaged me back and said, "Wow, well, yeah, those are all the things a mother should say, but I don't believe you. You're not Cleo. You're not Cleo right now." And she was right, and that is, you know, part of what makes this hard. But I have to wrap up soon, and unfortunately, when I'm not scripted, I ramble, and I'm sorry. But I have to say that is why she is my daughter. This is why she is who she is to me. This is like the essence of it, is that she knows. She is compassionate, and she is kind, and she is loving, and she is giving, and she is funny, and she is smart. She is ferocious. She fights for her mom. Oh my God, this girl's a fighter, and you know, I've never had anyone fight for me in the way my daughter fights for me, and that's really why she's my daughter. I have to wrap up. I'm sorry, but the whole story is, we met because I wished her a happy birthday, and we talked, and she got me past the apprehensions I had about talking to her on the phone. We'll talk for hours. I have no problems, none. She broke that, and she knows her mom inside and out. She knows when mom's not in charge. She has gained the kind of wisdom that I only hoped she might have. In that when whoever is fronting is not her mom, she says, as she did to me last night, my mom's not here. I want to talk to my mom. I don't want to talk to you. And I will wait until my mom comes back. And when my mom comes back, we'll talk. And that's my girl. That's my girl. Oh, last thing. She asked me not long ago what I thought of her taking on my last name, and oh my God, was I honored. I was honored, and I've only got about a minute, and then after she said that one of these days she will take on legally my last name, she then said, and you know, I think I'll tell this story separately sometime, but she asked me if I would give her a new name. She wanted a new identity to go along with Cleo. She wanted to be my daughter, and she asked me to come up with some Gaelic names for her, and I chose her identity is she is a Grey Witch, and so I chose the Gaelic word witch, which is Kaya. There are like 27 dialects, so there's 27 different pronunciations of this word, but she is Kaya, and her middle name is Grey, which is Leah, and her last name is McMurha, and the last thing, what I'm going to close with, is that my daughter loves me so much. She asked me to choose her name for her. I got to name my daughter, and I love her. Gotta go. Got a thing to do. If she wants, I'll redo this, and if she wants, I'll do a new one or another one. But for now, that is the haphazard story of where Cleo and Caillie came from. Love you all, babies. Gotta go.